Hello everybody, good evening. We're here doing some late night manifestation at the home of the inventor of Orgonite and the Orgone Generator, Mr. Carl Wells, good friend of mine. We've got a blank sheet of paper, brand new colored pen set, excellent for manifesting or femifesting. The JU1000 Orgone Generator plugged in and turned on. We're going to dive deeper into manifesting, mind mapping in connection with the Orgone Generator, in this case the JU1000, though all the same principles apply across the board. In any basic manifestation or operation, some would even call it a ritual, though I don't quite like that word. In this case, it's got too much baggage with it. It's a very simple, very scientific deal. Though in the past it was they manifested in different ways. Everyone manifests in their own way. So we're going to look at different things through the lens of our target trend life force setup. Now, any basic operation, first thing, the target. Second thing, the trend. Third thing, the life force. Give you a few examples. Very common are these vision boards now. A vision board is a form of manifestation technique, and in this technique you have a 2D board, typically with a statement in the center. Sometimes it could be a picture of yourself. It's implied that if you're making the board, you are the target. Now, on that board, typically things are placed like a new car, maybe a beautiful scenery somewhere representing a certain travel goal or lifestyle goal, maybe a certain romantic partner, a certain relationship or family unit is here. Or maybe it's all oriented towards one thing: career, family, health, lifestyle, travel. Maybe it's a particular fitness goal, weight loss, something of that sort. So you have figures with a very fit body on here. Those are all considered trends within our construct. Now, it's been said, and I believe, there are as many different objective realities as there are particles in the universe. That's my particular outlook. So within our language, our thought word pattern here, target, trend, and life force, which we use to simplify using the generator, we're fitting in other examples. So you have your target, you have your trends, things we discussed, which are represented by pictures. Those pictures are what we'd consider a structural link. So in any operation, a link can represent each of these two things. You can have multiple trends, multiple targets. So a link, traditionally, like in a voodoo doll, would be like a strand of hair. If you're the target and you're in the room, you're making the thing, you're linked to the thing, your energy is on that thing. Trend, and it's about mental direction in that case. Trend, here you have trend links, different pictures, and people pointed out, particularly Jason Kryzak, refreshed my memory that the more personal, the more detailed the pictures, the better. I think Bob Stevens was the first person I heard say God or the universe didn't ever create a vague flower. So when manifesting or femifesting, it's important to be specific. Life force. Now, with a vision board, as an example, the person who makes the vision board typically places that vision board on the wall. By looking at it every day, every night, the person is using their own individual life force to energize this particular operation. So you have target, trend, and life force applied. obviously in the case of the generator, you have that life force being produced here, which we've measured and shown, demonstrated, which you can feel. 9 out of 10 people can feel. Take it a different direction. Look at a sports game. Now you have a sports ball here. A lot of people love sports ball. You have two opposing teams. Then you have the fans for each of those teams. The fans cheering on people are typically saying, something like defense or get 'em, okay? So the voice is a form of life force production and direction, and the phrase would be the trend, and the target would be the team. So you have many, many, many thousands, not millions, depending on the event, of people directing their life force at this game. Of course, the skill of the players matters, though they've done studies that when players are being cheered for, they perform better. That's why this is. Now, mantra, same thing. The particular mantra itself is the trend. Like someone told me this Lakshmi mantra. So that was for abundance. And by repeating this mantra over and over out loud, I was told I would achieve more abundance, a frequency of abundance, like tuning into a different radio station. So in this case, and this is, very widely practiced, if you're into a kirtan, it's very moving. So the mantra would be considered the trend in our model. Okay, what is the mantra about? What is the goal? Is it harmony? Is it a particular mental state? By repeating that mantra, especially in a group, generating a lot of life force. And by singing the mantra, the default target is you. Okay, here's a few examples. Mind map is a great way to manifest or manifest. And with a good mind map, one will use many different colors rather than just black and white. So you engage both the creative and the logical side of the brain. Left and right brain. Left brain corresponds to right body. Right brain corresponds to left body. And using curves and colors. Okay, thoughts are things, right? Napoleon Hill. So you're taking that electrical activity in your brain and you're writing it down. You're at least getting it in the material world. Even though it may seem to someone who thinks of the world in 3D that, well, this is just a 2D sheet of paper, what is writing it down going to do anything? Well, you've got works, texts that have stood the test of time, and that's one of the many ways in which life force transcends time and space. So a mind map can be used in perfect harmony with a generator. Mind map, there's a lot of different techniques. So typically a statement in the middle. And whenever I'm manifesting, then I use a personal specific statement, affirmative, and Neville Goddard would say, imagine from the wish fulfilled. So for example, writing something like, well, hey, man, I'm trying to manifest a new job. I really want a new job. Well, the person, by wanting, is desiring without having, and reaffirming a state of lack instead of saying like, hey, I'm manifesting a new job. What can I do to hurry this process along or to bring it about in an optimal fashion? Because someone just asked me this, so I'm using this as an example. New job. I have a new fun and lucrative position. Okay, how could this device possibly help me with a new job? Well, by knowing that the past, present, and future are all here now, time and space does bend around life force. and that we have direct influence over our world around us, which is by many different cultures, standards, and smart people's view, an extension of ourselves, a reflection of ourselves. We're taking thoughts, putting them onto paper in a directed way, energizing those thoughts into a goal, and supplying that goal with continual life force to create an operation. And the best thing one can do is experience results for themselves. Even if I showed you a bunch of studies, examples, testimonials, then ultimately it comes down to, are you able to achieve the results that you're looking for? We believe this is an objective, scientific approach. Yes, we've done experiments that are repeatable, though as far as the device's usefulness for yourself, people ask, how can I use it to manifest this or that? Here's one way. I have a new, fun, and lucrative position. Okay. Oh, we got a dud here, huh? I attract the right say coworker, team member, boss, group. Say group, because any of these things fit into a group. So depending on the person, I attract the right group. I have insight where to look. Funny enough, a lot of people, when manifesting, they're working on changing the outside world so much, they may overlook certain things within oneself that will be very important in achieving certain goals quickly and easily. I think ultimately any goal can be achieved by changing oneself, right? So I attract the right group. I have insight where to look. I am magnetic to what suits me. I mean, most people realize, who study consciousness and things like that, that the subconscious is running the show. So we're setting up programs, trends, for this particular goal, written down, personal and specific. I have insight into the best fit. Now they say you're not supposed to do what you love, you're supposed to do what you're good at. Obviously, a labor of love is an option for all of us if we so choose to seek it out, though I have insight into the best fit. So this may be something that this particular person hadn't yet thought of. It may be like hidden under your nose, so to speak, hidden in plain view, something outside the box, something this person's, they may be looking over here and missing these opportunities over there. So we're drawing this in from the outside and from the inside, and we're setting up an operation. New fun position, new best fit. I see clearly the position I am after. So this device won't plug in your room, turn on, and do everything for you. It takes personal action as well to meet the device, meet the operation in the world. So you're generating life force towards a positive outcome. That outcome is ideally possible and more ideally probable, tipping the scales in your favor, so to speak. So with a mind map, you've got the basics. They say that when creating a mind map, you're creating actual neural pathways in your brain. So using the colors, using the personal specific statements, using the curved lines, and then using the generator. So doing these in a large group, like at a conference, one naturally has a lot of life force built in to their operation, because the large group of people all have life force generated, strength in numbers, and that life force then is focused by the individual into their particular mind map. You have a life force generator at home with the Orgone Generator, a new capability for us here in the world, relatively new. So with the JU1000, people ask, well, what's the best frequency for manifesting? Truth be told, you can use any frequency for manifesting. The frequency is actually a form of a trend energy. So the frequency determines the rate at which the orgone is put out. Though many people get hung up on this or that frequency, certain frequencies are better for certain things, that's true. Though in a sense, the orgone is the most important function of the Orgone Generator, the orgone production. So whether it's at 0.7 hertz or 1,000 hertz, that orgone is being produced, and in this case, it's going to your target. So one way, so we'll just set it on 3.5 hertz. You've got your 6 preset frequencies, and then when you turn it to the right, you can go 0 to 500. 100 equals 500. We could put a 500 here, mark the scale down, though it may be a little bit trickier. So we just did 0 to 100, it's a 5 to 1 scale. So if you want to get exactly precise, you will need a precision frequency generator, a PSC 2000 or above, with the digital frequency display. The RAD 2400 does not have a digital frequency display. That's more of a radionics device, and radionics is not as much contingent upon the frequency itself. It's the rate, which is a representation, it's a solidification of a mental abstraction. So it's a way of focusing or tuning in a particular target or trend. All right, so you've got your generator here. We've also got 2 pendants. When you get a pendant pair, they are structurally linked. So one goes on your device. If it's a little tough, you might want to just grease it up. And one with you. So you've got your generator now energizing this mind map, and you've also got yourself linked to your generator. Wherever you carry this pendant, you're linked to the output. You can set up many different operations on your generator. Just know that the output of the generator is going to be divided between those operations. With a RAD 5, for example, you could comfortably run 30 to 50 operations. With the JU1000, maybe 5 to 7. Obviously, it depends on what sort of operations you're running, a number of other factors. All right, I hope this was helpful in your manifesting, in your femifesting, and feel free to comment any questions below. We'll continue to do more videos, and we've got a very compelling, very detailed, lengthy Law of Attraction series we're publishing on YouTube soon. Have a good night.